You're listening to the best of Rob, Arnie, and Dawn.
Everybody's once again talking about something totally stupid that Mike Tyson said. Last night, the Fox News magazine The Pulse ran an interview with Mike Tyson conducted by Greta Van Susteren.
Ooh, hottie.
In which Mike talked about Desiree Washington, the Miss Black America contestant whose 1991 rape allegations sent Tyson to prison for 3 years. Mike Tyson, of course, continues to claim that he's innocent. Muhammad Siddiq, who was Tyson's spiritual advisor while he was in prison, says that Greta Van Susteren goaded Mike Tyson into making the explosive statements that you are about to hear. That's really a bunch of crap from what we saw, but, I mean, who knows? Maybe there was some editing that we didn't see, but, I mean, she's just asking him some questions. So we put together our 5 favorite clips for your listening enjoyment.
Oh, boy.
We will begin. You'll hear Greta Van Susteren
Hottie.
eloquently and very seductively ask Mike Tyson if he raped the woman, and then you'll hear his reply.
So did you do this? Did you rape her?
No, I ain't raped that slimy bitch. Anybody else having fun like that, it was just young boys having fun. But it's me, I'm a big black rapist. Big, strong, black young kid wants some. She says no because he's an ape, so he hits her with his club, drags her by her hair, and rapes her and do as he wants. So that's the stigma I'm left with. All that I've been in life. I've been a lot of things, but I'm going to be left with the stigma of being a rapist.
He's a little upset.
Wow.
Says if it was anybody else, it's just fun. But since it's him, and I don't know what he's alluding to, he's a big, black, scary rapist who hits her with a club, and that's the stigma.
Drags her. Wow.
He's crazy.
I think he's trying to make it a directly racial issue. I think that's what he's trying to communicate, that because he is black, he said, like, if a young white male were doing what he did, it would be considered having fun with a girl. But because he's black, he was persecuted and called a rapist.
You know what? And I see his point, because there are no white guys in prison for rape whatsoever.
And, of course, keep in mind the girl that he raped is also black.
Right.
So it is an interesting defense. Next, Greta asks Mike Tyson about the victim, Desiree Washington.
Why do you think she said you raped her?
Because she's a sick, money-hungry, she's really a bad person. Now, I know you may not want to hear this when we talk on the case, I'm up. You know what I mean? I got issues because of dealing with this for 3.5 years. I got some issues. You know, I'm pretty violent.
Really?
What?
No.
So, now, this is interesting because now he's the victim.
Right, and he's blaming it on her for his actions.
And now, to be fair, by the way, obviously the story here is what Tyson said. To be fair, the piece does continue to paint some very interesting questions about this woman who claims she was raped by Tyson. There are a number of witnesses who don't have connections to Tyson who can say that she picked him out, that she made a beeline for him, that she was interested in him from the get-go. There are people who will claim that she is money hungry, as he claims. You know, it's one of those things where I sit back and I go, you know, I wonder if Mike Tyson was a little more stable, if all of us would really question his conviction, because he's such a whack job. I think most of us go, oh yeah, he probably did it.
Well, the tattoos on the face, his, biting ears.
You know, if you can separate yourself from that and watch it, they do present a case that makes you go, huh, I really wonder what the story is here. I really wonder if he raped her or if it was consensual sex and she turned around and made this fraudulent claim, which we do know, unfortunately, does happen now and then.
And there's a big claim in the legal community, Rob. This happened very shortly, I think either after or before the William Kennedy Smith rape trial, where the Kennedy, cousin or uncle or nephew, whatever, raped this girl, and, he got off. And they're saying the reason why is because he basically kept his mouth shut and let his lawyer do all of his talking, whereas in the Mike Tyson trial, experts were saying he was winning and was close to getting acquitted when he took the stand and proceeded to open his mouth and literally sounded just like these clips we're playing now, and the jury's like, we're convicting you, of course.
Right. No, that's very true. That's how I recall it. That's all the readings I have on it. Is Tyson was going to be acquitted of this crime, and then he took the stand and all hell broke loose.
I still think he's... I mean, if there's questions being raised, whatever, I still think he's a sick person.
Sure.
Just a sick individual with a lot of issues, and most of the things he says I don't care for, and I hate the fact that he would even be placed in the limelight. Because let's just say he didn't rape her. Well, the things he says, though, that he wants to rape her. You're not a rapist, yet you're going to say you want to rape someone? What normal man says, I want to rape that bitch? I mean,
And her mama.
And her mom. So that's, to me, I have a hard time believing he's not a rapist. And let's even say he wasn't, that I have a hard time believing he's not capable of it because the things that he says.
Does it say why his attorney put him on the stand in the first place?
Well,
and the reason why I ask this is, A, he's not an eloquent speaker.
no.
And the second thing is that this trial happened in Indiana, predominantly white state, correct?
I don't know.
I mean, they get a big black man on. They're afraid of him. And it's Mike Tyson to begin with. And they paint the picture. I can see what he's saying, that they paint the picture of him being, a big crazy man.
The thing that I'd heard is that Tyson had literally browbeat his lawyer and said, I'm going to take the stand and defend myself. Tyson told his lawyer, I'm taking the stand because I have to tell my side of the story because I want the world to know what I went through. And his lawyer begged him, pleaded him, do not get on the stand. Are you crazy? And Tyson said, no, this is my trial. I'm going on the stand.
Well, and the client does have the final say. The theory behind taking the stand is, I'll give you a movie reference, Arnie, because you love these. One of Harrison Ford's first really good whodunit films, Presumed Innocent, in which he is accused of killing his former lover.
But his wife did it because they found the hatchet in the backyard.
There's a scene in the middle of the case where his lawyer doesn't want him to go on the stand, and Harrison Ford makes the case. This is what's believed in most legal communities: is juries want to hear you say, "I didn't do it." I mean, there is nothing more powerful in criminal cases than a person getting up and saying, I did not do this. So that's the theory behind doing it. The theory behind not doing it is, can it be done believably? For example, O.J. Simpson had anger issues, had this long history of abusing Nicole Brown Simpson, and his lawyers convinced him, you know what, O.J., even if you say it, it ain't going to be believable. And O.J. went, yeah, okay, and look how that worked out.
Yeah.
They couldn't convince Tyson not to take the stand. But they did ask Mike Tyson about his lawyers.
Vince Fuller, your lawyer. What kind
He
of
was
job?
a sellout piece of the fella. I didn't know anything about legal. So I'm with Don King, right? This guy, Don King, I'm glad you got into that. Don King's a decent man, supposedly. He's a piece of because this guy got him out of a tax lawsuit. He's going to get this guy to handle my particular rape involvement. And, man, please.
Did he talk to you at all? I mean, did he come visit you and talk to you about the case at all?
Listen, can I tell you something? He cared more about me going to jail than he cared about the bugs he stepped on his way to his job.
What does that mean?
He's just...
What does that mean?
I would assume that he put Tyson on a lower level than ants.
Well, but Tyson didn't say it like that. He cared more about me than he did about the bug. Well, that's good. I'm glad he cared more about you than the bugs he stepped on.
Did
the
he
way
screw it up?
Yeah.
Did he? Oh,
yeah. Listen to it.
All right, here, let's go back and listen to that. What an idiot!
I got some issues. I'm pretty violent.
Hold on a second.
Pretty violent. I got some
How does
anger
he...
issues.
Vince Fuller.
Why does he talk that way? I mean, what's wrong with him?
Well, maybe he just has a lisp, Dawn, like thousands of other people in America. Gee
We can
whiz.
get it fixed.
Not
There are
always.
speech therapists for that.
Not always. Some things are not fixable.
Maybe he just has a high-pitched voice.
How nice of you to point out things that are different about him.
Oh, shut up. Don't even start with...
Talk to you about the case at all?
Listen, can I tell you something? He cared more about me going to jail than he cared about the bugs he stepped on his way to his job.
He was right. He said cared more about me going to jail than he did about
Okay, I got it.
Still a convoluted way to say it. Then,
Wow.
they asked him about, now that we've got an opinion of his own attorney, what about the jury? Jury of his peers, fellow citizens.
Looking back on the trial, Tyson agrees.
My representation thinks I'm a monster. So if he thinks I'm a monster, what are these poor, ignorant bastards who I consider our jurors, my equals, who never stole a loaf of bread, my equals, whose mother never, ever had to sell some to their children, my equals, of course. They're going to convict me.
That's exactly what the jury did.
Oh, nice that you let that in, Nick. Yeah, that's his opinion of the public in general. How about that? Hello,
And himself.
Mike, good morning.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I heard a theory at the whole time because Tyson was so hot right now at that time, and nobody wanted to fight him. That King actually set this up to cool him in prison a while so they can get more fights out of him.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. I've heard this is a Don King conspiracy theory that he paid off Desiree Washington to do this whole thing.
And I think Mike Tyson accidentally makes kind of an eloquent commentary on the jury. He's talking about being tried by a jury of his peers. What Mike Tyson is, I think, attempting to say is that, how can this be a jury of my peers? My mother is somebody who stole and sold herself and was a prostitute to put food on the table, and that's the criminal environment I was brought up in, and kind of blaming society. That's why I'm a criminal, so how can you try me on this jury? But
Well, and that is the very thing that defense attorneys do in every case. What the defense would like 12 people that grew up poor and committing crime throughout their lives, because they will be sympathetic to Tyson. They will say, well, look, I turned out okay. I grew up like that. But the idea behind a jury is you're supposed to have, it doesn't always work out this way, but you're supposed to have a full cross-section of individuals from all walks of life.
His mother did those things?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And while his mother was doing these things, he and his best friend would hide in alleys, and when his best friend's mother would come home from work, they'd put on ski masks and beat her into a bloody pulp and take her groceries and her purse money.
They did that to a lot of people.
What?
That was what they did when he grew up.
What?
And then comes the quote of the day. Not only will you get to hear the wonderful thing about wanting to rape everyone here, but listen for his pronunciation of reptilian, which is, of course, a word that describes somebody from the reptile species.
Do you replay in your mind the trial at all? Do you replay her testimony?
Oh, this is just a lying, reptilian, monstrous young lady. I hate her guts, and she put me in that state where I don't know. I really wish I did now, but now I really do want to rape her and her mama. I know you don't like to hear that, but
No, I don't
I'm
like
in
to hear that. I admit I don't like to hear that.
Greta Van Susteren's like, no, I don't like
She
to hear
ran out of the room probably right after that.
And do you get that? He takes no personal responsibility for anything. Nothing at all. It's his lawyer's fault. It's the jury because they weren't his peers. It's society's fault because his mom, he was raised the way he was raised, and now it's this woman's fault for blaming him for something he didn't do, and now he's thinking it, which is her fault. I mean, this guy, whoa. What? God.
And remember, she was a reptile, too, of some kind.
Do you replay in your mind the trial at all?
my
Do you
favorite.
replay her testimony?
Oh, this is just a lying, reptilian, monstrous young lady. I hate her guts, and she put me in that state where I don't know. I really wish I did now, but now I really do want to rape her and her mama.
And you can hear him. He's starting to bow up there. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing it to you, Greta.
I'd be scared if I was Greta. I hope there were security guards around or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I would have been scared sitting there with him.
Me too. I'm serious. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so keyed in on this, but it sounds like when he's trying to call her reptilian, it sounds like he's trying to call her Italian, but he calls her reptilian. I don't know.
She's an Italian reptile. That's what Mike Tyson was accusing her of. There you go. There's your highlights from...
This is a guy who had a terrible upbringing in the first place. He's robbing people on the streets. And then he got with this great trainer, this great old guy in upstate New York, Customato, who took him in under his wing, taught him, some values. And then all of a sudden, Customato dies right after Mike Tyson becomes a champ, and Don King steps in. And Mike Tyson's world just turns to absolute garbage. Mm-hmm.
It's the fork in the road thing.
Yeah.
He maybe could have become such a different person.
The best of Rob, Arnie. Best of Rob, Arnie. Best of Rob, Arnie. Best of Rob.